Hi, everybody. I thought I'd have a nice little backdrop here to remind everybody that the world exists beyond the news. The news is just constant 24-hour depression because it sells. And, it's one of the reasons why I left mass media and information and technologies courses in college because it was just so depressing reading these reports and studies about how to conduct and write news. Uh, I was taking journalism class, I was taking mass media and information, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and we were fed these reports on how to properly prepare news items. And all of these studies said the same thing, that creating anxiety in your audience encouraged viewership. A lot of people don't believe that. They say, oh, that it's conspiracy talk. It's not conspiracy talk, it's what these textbooks that I was reading were teaching us on how to increase viewer engagement, etc., etc., etc. Some of these studies were based on the O.J. Simpson trial, if you can believe that. And if you notice, the O.J. Simpson trial was around the same time they dumped Saturday morning cartoons for the early viewing block. And then it was just about 10 years later that they slowly started removing the rest of the cartoons. Well, that wasn't why I was making this video, although that's a nice little tidbit for you to know. Um, Still, fantastic stuff going on at NASA. I didn't realize that this wasn't, here we go. Here we go. How do I do this? Fit to screen. There we go. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring you up to date on my channel and why I haven't updated it, why I haven't finished Stone Prophet. You haven't seen the last 15 videos, but somehow I got lost again. I found massive bugs in the final dungeon, and all this. It's been almost 20 years since I played Stone Prophet. I thought, why did I not? Why don't I keep playing this game like I always play uh, Strahd's Possession? Why did I stop playing Stone Prophet? And the final dungeon has areas that should be unlocked, but the only keys that you can press in order to unlock them don't actually unlock those areas. So it was definitely a product that was rushed out, which is a shame because, the final epic dungeon encounter has no encounter to it. So I need to figure out where, on top of that, I kept dying in that one dungeon with that soft lock, as you know, because you've seen those videos. And because I kept dying in that dungeon, I somehow missed or did not pick up seal uh, a seal quarter. So I have to figure out where the seal quarter is, and I haven't been able to go through the whole game yet and figure out where I dropped that seal quarter, because it's a lot of, I mean, it'll take me at least 2 hours to figure out where it is. Unless I get lucky and I guess, get my, the first guess. So I haven't finished the final episode yet, so I've kind of stopped recording. In addition to that, back in November, my old bosses sold to new bosses, and my old bosses took my name and two other individuals' names off the employee registry or the employee list, and it looks like they did it intentionally. They broke their contract with me when they did that, and they caused harm to me in a serious way. The new bosses didn't even know that I was working there. And when I tried to contact the old bosses, they and their lawyers advised them to do this according to my old boss. Or the lawyers advised my old boss. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. The owner's lawyers, the previous owner's lawyers, advised them not to speak to me. And I said, why? Then I found all this stuff out. I tried to call them back. No answer. I needed to find out my employment status. They've refused to answer, which is a violation of employment law in my state, and I believe federal law. Tried to contact their attorneys. Their attorneys started lying about, well, not lying, but they started denying any information to me, even information that was due to me by law. They said, you have to go get an employee attorney. Well, when attorneys start violating the law, that's when I start figuring out how to report them to agencies that they can't fight in court. So, at least from my perspective, that's what's been going on. From a couple of attorneys I talked to, my perspective appears to be correct. So I've been dealing with way more stuff outside of YouTube and Twitch, although I have been streaming on Twitch. And I've been trying to get my nonprofit going, among other things. And I just found out that Twitch and YouTube relaxed their restrictions on multi-streaming. So I'm going to see if I can start multi-streaming so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of 3D printing, and I'm trying to get my board game up and going, so I've been prototyping. I've spent the last 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, trying to figure out a different way of prototyping something, different design. It's been taking me a while. I've been using a 0.2 millimeter, really tiny. Instead of 0.4, it's like 0.2 millimeter nozzle in order to do it. And I found out that 0.2 millimeter nozzles are even more finicky than 0.4. It's taken me a long time to try and figure out what to do. Thankfully, I know how to test things without wasting too much filament. A lot of filament was donated to my nonprofit by Polymaker. This is not a paid advertisement, but Polymaker there's no but. There's not a paid advertisement. I'm telling you what's going on. Polymaker donated filament to my nonprofit. It took me a while to try and figure out how to use this particular filament. It's called Polyterra. I love it. Even if they hadn't have donated it to me and I would have been forced to purchase it, I would still say the same thing. I love it. It feels like the clay polymer that's used in poker chips in Las Vegas. And it has a much lower temperature for melting. And for the 0.4 millimeter nozzle, I can get away with a lot more with a higher temp than I can with the 0.2. With 0.4, if it's a slightly higher temp than it normally is, like 190 Celsius or 195 Celsius, it's very smooth. 0.2, you start seeing the ribbing, the layering, which isn't bad. It doesn't look bad. The layering adds texture to it, And I used to sell games and stuff like clay dominoes and clay poker chips and stuff like that at the game store that I worked at 20 years ago. So it's got a great texture to it. It's got a great feel. I love this Polyterra. I don't know what they used to create it, but it feels like a clay thing. So that's all what I've been doing. I know that you guys may have seen a video, Theme Hospital, up here. Let's see. Let me go down and put some more stuff in the background. It's pretty interesting. Theme Hospital was great up until I got to like level 6 or 7. I can't beat it. I remember it used to be really, really difficult. People were talking about how difficult it was when it came out, and it felt like it was bugged. I think it. I think part of it is bugged. Created by Bullfrog. And yeah, there are times where the AI can get into a cycle, and everything is random. It was the precursor to Twin Peaks Hospital or whatever it is. You know, Twin Pines Hospital. You know, that game that's on Steam. I may just buy that game instead. As much as I love uh, theme theme hospital, I can't beat the stupid thing. So I think I just deleted the playlist. Um, so I'm sorry that I haven't been able to get a lot of videos up. Um, I've also been taking care of my grandma's estate, helping mom take care of it. So yeah, and applying for jobs. That first part. My job was stable until the my previous bosses turned out that they were really trying to make everybody happy in order to manipulate the sale for their personal profit, and they hurt a lot of people, including myself, which upsets me because they were family friends. So, yeah, my YouTube career, my Twitch career, it looks like not taking off. And don't let the dates on YouTube fool you. I've been streaming on Twitch and YouTube because I was streaming on a different. Well, I mostly focused on Twitch, but I did initially try YouTube on a previous account for about over 15 years. I really do this just for fun, and at this point, so unless somehow I take off, don't forget like, comment, share, subscribe. So I've been around for 15 years. There are going to be periods where I don't upload a video, but I mean I've got over 1,000 videos on Twitch on my Daily Motion, you know, and a lot of saved videos on Twitch. Some really fun ones. There's some where you could tell when I was really new. Um, anyway, so I really hope that. God, I love NASA's website. Anyway, I really hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I hope you're taking care. Uh, if you really want to help me out, buy a book, leave a review. If I get up to so many reviews, I can start doing sequels to my books, that sort of thing. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Mankind. 1958. Anyway, take care, everybody.